Hello. Hello. This is Ronnie Blanche again, back with the video episode Life Be Crazy. Tonight I'll be reading from my book again, Life Be Crazy, So Why Should I Be Sane? There we go. Tonight I will be reading from a chapter called Kiss Carrie Bradshaw Good-bye. She is from Sex and the City, and since it is cocktail hour, her normal beverage of choice is a Cosmopolitan. Actually, what I'm drinking in this picture at the Chandelier Bar at the Cosmopolitan Hotel in Las Vegas. But since I don't have any Cosmopolitan fixins, I will be drinking some red wine this evening. It is from Napa Valley. It is Purple Heart. And actually that's appropriate because one of Carrie's love interests, Mr. Big, moved to Napa and sort of broke her heart. So there you go. Appropriate for the evening. So this is Kiss Carrie Bradshaw Goodbye, and it was originally written in the winter of 2012. Here we go. I love Carrie Bradshaw. Surely you know her from Sex and the City, played by the effervescently fabulous actress and fashion diva Sarah Jessica Parker? No? Honey, how big of a rock have you been hiding under? I will admit I came to the Sex and the City party late. The series ran from 1998 to 2004, and I never watched it. Never. I was vaguely aware of it from all of the Emmys it won, but in my mind it was some smutty show about oversexed bimbos. It was on HBO, for Pete's sake, and you had to pay to watch that channel like pay-per-view porn. My bestie had mentioned the show from time to time. She said what a hoot the girls were, and I had enjoyed Sarah Jessica's free-spirited movie characters in Footloose and LA Story, but I had never bothered to give Sex, the series, a try. Then one day in 2009, when my entire world was in the crapper, not something I want to go into right now, and videos were my escape haven, I saw Sex and the City the movie on the library shelf. This is my copy. I didn't steal it from the library. It was free. I didn't find anything else I wanted to watch, so I checked it out. I watched it. More accurately, I devoured it. Knowing next to nothing about the characters or the backstory, I was still hooked. Even by Mr. Big, who hurt my gal Carrie when he couldn't get out of the car to marry her, but he redeemed himself in the end, in the closet, with the double doors. I'll say no more. I don't want to be a spoiler, except that seeing that movie was a life changer. I had something to live for again. I had 6 whole seasons of Carrie Bradshaw's life to catch up on. Here's just a few of them. I've got them all. 6 seasons. They've been well loved. Carrie Bradshaw, how do I love her and want to be her? Let me count the ways. Number 1, work. A writer for the fictional newspaper The New York Star, Carrie has a weekly column called Sex and the City, about traversing the trials of relationships and finding love as a single gal in New York City. All that traversing takes her to the coolest New York City hotspots: clubs, restaurants, art gallery openings, benefits, fashion shows, all in sky-high stilettos to cavort with celebs and fashionistas and all kinds of quirky characters. I love quirky characters. Fabulous! In case you think I don't know any other words besides fabulous, I do. But when it comes to all things Carrie Bradshaw and Sex and the City, no other word would do. Watch her. Watch it. You'll see. I'm a writer. I could totally do that. I could totally do the work that she does. I don't know much about sex, and I'm certainly no whiz at relationships, but then Carrie doesn't have it all figured out either. That's why her signature phrase, "I couldn't help but wonder," starts the last sentence of nearly every column she writes. So I'm willing to learn right along with Carrie. Number 2 ways I want to be Carrie. love/lust. Carrie has an on-again, off-again, steamy romance with Big, a man with money who likes the finer things in life and abso-fucking-lutely will not be corralled by convention. That's his favorite word. And he's played by Hubba Hubba Chris Noth. Count me in big time. He is the buff bad boy you can't help falling for that makes falling, even when it hurts, so damn much fun. I have played some of Big and Carrie's sizzling scenes over and over so much that my DVD player actually groans when I hit rewind again. I actually shot craps on one and had to go buy another one. In case you're wondering, the Easy Come, Easy Go episode is my favorite sizzler. That elevator scene, oh yeah, it gets my southern parts tingling every time. As if Big wasn't big enough to make me want her love life, and he is. Through the seasons, Carrie also hooked up with several other wild guys. Seth, in a cameo role by John Bon Jovi, the man just keeps getting hotter with age. It's so not fair. Carrie meets Seth in the waiting room when she tries therapy because the girls think that she picks the wrong men. She finds out, unfortunately after they have mind-blowing sex, that Seth is also Mr. Wrong. He's in therapy because he completely loses interest in a woman after he sleeps with her. So long, Seth. But, John Bon Jovi, you're welcome in my bed anytime, buddy. Seth is in season 2, in case you're wondering. Aidan Shaw, made irresistibly adorable by John Corbett, a longtime crush of mine since Northern Exposure and my big fat Greek wedding. Aidan is a laid-back furniture designer in the antithesis of Big. Sweet, open about his feelings, and not afraid of commitment, all of which scares Carrie back into the arms and, in the Stanhope Hotel episode from the Easy episode, into the arms and bed of Big. Carrie and Aidan break up in season 3, reunite and get engaged in season 4, then split for good before the season ends, because Aidan wants to run off and tie the knot, and he actually says, let's get Mauied. Ugh. And Carrie feels tied in knots because she's not sure she is the marrying type. Aidan is lovable and has a dog named Pete, which I dig dogs. And he can make a big comfy armchair like the one Carrie cozies into for cocktail sipping and Vogue reading. So if Carrie can handle Aidan calling her Pop-Tart and eating fried chicken in her bed for a season or 2, I can go along with that. Next comes Jack Berger, played by Ron Livingston. And Jack is a novelist Carrie meets through her publisher after her columns are turned into a book. And they are the perfect intellectual match, effortlessly exchanging razor-sharp banter, but somehow they can't seem to match up in the sack until they try bringing their banter to bed. Shouldn't have to work that hard, should you? I'm just saying. Once the sex gets good, the relationship goes bad because Berger can't handle Carrie's authorial success and ends it on a post-it note. Yeah, a writer breaks up on a post-it note. It reads, I'm sorry, I can't, don't hate me. Cruel, curt, and clever, huh? Big pussy is what I say. Even though Berger turns out to be a jerk, and he isn't my type physically. No, too hairy. I don't like any 5 o'clock shadow with my breakfast cereal. Thank you so much. I could go for a guy who stimulates my mind as much as the rest of me. And he rides a motorcycle. Even more stimulation for the rest of me. Rrr, rrr. So, Carrie, I'm on board, and I definitely won't be bored, with Berger as well. Berger shows up in seasons 5 and 6. Last but not least, we have Alexander Petrovsky, Carrie's final season final fling, and he is portrayed by the sexy, sophisticated, suave Mikhail Baryshnikov, or Misha, as I affectionately call him, ever since we got acquainted when I had an intro to dance class in college, and I got to witness his ballet brilliance and his beautiful body, and I came away wet every time, and it wasn't from sweat. While gallery hopping with her friend Charlotte, Carrie meets Alec, an internationally renowned Russian light installation artist. He romances her old world style, including a snowy sleigh ride through Central Park and a black tie slow dance at McDonald's, and convinces Carrie to move to Paris with him for his art show. Even though Petrovsky doesn't turn out to be the ridiculous, inconvenient, consuming, can't live without each other real love Carrie is looking for, he can light me up anytime. At being romanced by Alec, Misha, I say da, which is Russian for yes. I Googled it in case you didn't know it either. At being whisked away to an expensive suite in a lovely hotel in Paris by a worldly wealthy artist that I would do in a New York minute, I say oui and ooh la la. Time for a sip. Excuse me. Next comes the third way that I want to be Carrie Bradshaw, and that's fashion. Dressed by the ever quirky and outrageously fashion-forward costume designer / stylist Patricia Field, Carrie Bradshaw shot Sex and the City style into the mainstream of the new millennium, even bigger than the show Dallas did in the 1980s. Looking perfectly put together for anything and flawlessly fabulous in everything, Carrie Bradshaw pulled viewers in every week to indulge in the fashion as much as the storyline. Bras became chic accessories instead of just underwear because she let them show from underneath, revealing couture. Single-handedly, Carrie brought candies back to life and put Manolo Blahniks and Christian Louboutins on every fashionista's wish list. Please, oh please, if there are any miracles left in this world, let Pat Field become my fairy godmother and bring me the style, savvy, and entire wardrobe of Carrie Bradshaw. But size it up, way up, honey, please, to fit me. And the hair, I've got to have the hair too, to complete the look. Over 6 seasons, Carrie's hairdo morphed from long rock star curls to sleek chic chignons to messy chin-link bobs to every imaginable style in between, and never once looked less than fabulous and perfect, or fabulously perfect. Better yet, perfectly fabulous. I know I've got to come up with some different words, but you get the idea. She's fabulous. What are you going to say? Number 4 on the list of the reasons I want to be Carrie Bradshaw is the girls. Her girls. More than anything else, it's because of her gal pal posse that's by her side for every triumph and tribulation. As Big puts it when he's asking the girls whether he should go to Paris to get Carrie, you 3 know her better than anyone. You're the loves of her life, and a guy's just lucky to come in 4th. There's Miranda Hobbs, played by Cynthia Nixon, the feisty red-headed lawyer who favors logic over love, yet in the end she gives in to love and gives up Manhattan for Brooklyn when she marries sweet, sexy bartender Steve. Miranda is Carrie's go-to gal for advice on her biggest dilemmas and dramas, even though Carrie doesn't always like what she hears. She's often cynical and acerbic, but always well-meaning. Miranda is the only one of the girls that straight-talks Carrie when she finds herself falling in big-time affair trouble with Big, and later loses herself with Petrovsky. Just like Carrie, I can sure use a tough touchstone like from Miranda from time to time. There's also Charlotte York McDougal York Goldenblatt, played by Kristen Davis, the artsy, perpetually proper Park Avenue pal who believes true love exists and is forever finding ways to make it happen for herself and her friends. Just when Charlotte is on the verge of giving up, I've been dating since I was 15. I'm exhausted. Where is he? She finds her Prince Charming in Dr. Trey McDougal. Unfortunately, Charlotte's marriage to Trey doesn't last, just like Trey's erections. But her Tiffany engagement ring rescues Carrie from having to live in her Manolos when her building goes condo. And Charlotte's divorce lawyer, Harry Goldenblatt, turns out to be the true love she kept believing in. Charlotte is exactly the cheerleader chum that I need for life's rough spots. Maybe her money can't buy me happiness, but it can buy a lot of cosmopolitans, and that's a good start. I saved Samantha Jones, played by Kim Cattrall, for last, because she's the best. With her freewheeling sexuality, I'm a trisexual. I'll try anything once, she said. And her say-anything sauciness. I'm dating a guy with the funkiest tasting spunk. Samantha is the show's next best thing to sex dessert that you feel guilty about enjoying but eat every last bite of anyway. Samantha loves sex. She loves her body, and she's not afraid to let both be known. She's brazen, beautiful, and eventually hooked up with Boy Toy Smith Jared, a hung hottie that even hangs tight with her through breast cancer. Of all the girls, and I do love them all, I would choose to be Samantha if I can't get carried away. Carried away. So the other evening, my sweetie D-Man is taking me out for a little wine tasting, then a little wine sipping visit with friends. I need a sip, excuse me. An actual date night we're going to have. Since most of my time at that time was spent in grubby jeans and boring t-shirts working at the library shelving books, I decided to channel my inner Carrie and spiff up. I slipped on a hot pink bra, leaving an extra button undone on my silky black blouse for a pop of pink accessory just like Carrie would. I hauled out my high-heeled gray faux croc mock booties that have been relegated to storage under the bed forever because they kill my feet, and I paired them with some dark boot-cut low-rider Levi's. I mussed my hair and gave it a spritz of spray for that after-sex look Carrie pulls off so well. I even hauled out the makeup kit. Mostly I use it for zit coverage, and shadowed my eyes in shades of gray and lined my lids with the least dried-up eye pencil I could find. The final Carrie touch was a slick of pink lip gloss. There. I had fixed myself up as close to Carrie Bradshaw as I would ever be. I looked in the mirror and hideous looked back at me. After all that work, somehow I resembled a cheap hooker, one that is garishly exposed under the harsh glare of the fluorescent lights at Walmart after a long, road-hard night, no less. I looked like a cheap hooker, way more than the fabulous idol I was trying to emulate. The ancient eyeliner was already flaking, leaving gray flecks on my cheeks. The eyeshadow job I worked so hard on made my eyes look sunk in, like I'd just been sprung out of a prison camp. The pink gloss gave my teeth a yellower cast. The pink bra didn't even show unless I bent over completely, since I've got no cleavage to heave it out there. And then I nearly broke my neck in those heels trying to pirouette in front of the mirror to view all this hideousness. Before my obituary read "Death by Heels," or I frightened D-Man off for good, I realized right then it was time to kiss Carrie Bradshaw goodbye. As much as I hated to, I finally had to admit it. I ain't never gonna be Carrie Bradshaw. I'll never have her looks, no matter how much makeup I put on. I'll never pull off her perfectly put together style, even if Patricia Fields showed up at my house with a wardrobe truck full of her clothes in my size. My hair will always be too frizzy to be rock star curly, and too curly to be sleek straight, so trying to have Carrie's do is a don't. I'll never lie next to Big and watch him blow smoke rings at the ceiling after smoking hot sex. Never have Seth dump me after sex. Never get to cheat on Aiden with Big. I'll never get to the post-it breakup from Berger. I'll never get to dance, horizontally or otherwise, and romance with Petrovsky. And the girls? The only time I'll get to have my own gal pal posse, woo, almost said a bad word there. The only time I'll get to have my own gal pal posse, like the girls, is when I pop them in the DVD player. My Carrie dream is over. But wait, I am still a writer. That's my only shot at living the Carrie Bradshaw life. Now if I can ever just figure out a subject I know about that's as fabulous as her Sex and the City columns. What could it be? I do know a lot about Carrie Bradshaw and Sex and the City. What could be more fabulous than that? And I do have 6 seasons worth of episodes. The Sex and the City Kiss and Tell book with all of the information you ever want to know. Sex and the City the movie. And, believe it or not, Sex and the City the trivia game. Woo! I got all the research material I need. This just might work. Don't pucker up yet, Carrie Bradshaw. The dream lives. Oh, girl. The dream lives. So, thank you for joining me for another episode of Life Be Crazy. And this episode was called Kiss Carrie Bradshaw Goodbye. I will be seeing you again soon. And until then, have a fabulous day.